Hey, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with Technical Solutions. We have so many people asking about earnings for Tesla, which is on Monday. So this is something that is super exciting. A lot of people have been anticipating this. There's been so many just expectations of Tesla exceeding earnings. I just want to show you some numbers and I want to give you my idea. I honestly think a lot of you guys will agree with me. So a quick little heads up if you guys didn't know or don't know what earnings are. Earnings are going to be on the 26th of April. That means that Tesla reports its Q1 earnings, which can either act, the reason so many people are asking is it can either act as a positive or negative catalyst. So Tesla right now, I wanted to wait for the market to close. Tesla is at $7.29 a share right now. If it reports poor earnings or worse than anticipated, it can pull back, right? The price will drop. If Tesla reports positive earnings, then Tesla can, of course, experience a positive catalyst. I want to show you this. Tesla, for the past 4 consecutive earnings, has beat revenue expectations, but only the last earnings did it not meet EPS, which is earnings per share. It missed it by, what was that, 23.91%. Trust me, all these numbers are super confusing, especially if you're someone that's just getting started. All I wanted to show you is that Tesla has a pretty good track record. I think the past 6 consecutive earnings, it exceeded revenue, if I'm not mistaken. And for the past 3, right, out of the 4, it ended up beating expectation. Expectation has a lot to do with it when it comes down to earning reports. Sometimes, and we've seen this firsthand, how many times have you seen a stock report positive earnings, but it just was not as great as expected? Anticipation has a lot to do with it. Everyone is anticipating Tesla to do well based off of a series of different articles, and they expect it to be up 2% year over year. That's not anything crazy, but what I want to share with you is I want to be super open-minded. This is why I didn't just go on the 180-day chart. I went on the 1-year chart. What I want to show you, and please share your thought in the comments section. What I want to show you is that Tesla, during earnings, can experience both. We've seen it both ways. We've seen Tesla, when it reports earnings, it can experience a positive catalyst, and we've also seen it can experience a negative catalyst. Regardless of what happens, Tesla, when it reports earnings, even when it does go up, if you're an investor, I wouldn't just take the time of day to try to predict anything. Tesla, right after earnings, tends to pull on back, and then it continues to rally. I want to show you another one. Tesla reports earnings, it pulls on back, but then it continues to rally, right? Let's go to another earnings. This time, it actually hits all-time highs at $900 a share, and then it pulls on back, and then it pulls on or corrects itself from that point moving forward. So the point that I'm trying to make is that it doesn't matter if you're a long-term investor. It is not in your best interest to try to predict something that at the end of the day, no one actually knows how it's going to play out. Does Tesla have a good track record on reporting positive earnings? Yes. Does Tesla have a good track record of being more bullish than it is bearish? Yes. So what is 2 to 3 days, even a week, of Tesla either pushing up or pulling on back, right? If you're an investor, just know that these fluctuations come with the territory. If you're a trader, on the other hand, I am personally someone, right, if you're like my long-term position in Tesla, my investment in Tesla, I'm not going to touch. Regardless if it pushes up or regardless if it pushes down, just based off of Tesla's track record when it comes down to earnings and looking at previous earning reports, you can see that earnings does have an influence on the day or maybe for the next 2 days that follow. But after that, the earnings is not as relevant. And then Tesla either recovers or pulls on back if it's at very overbought levels. So what I'm trying to say is to take all this time to try to predict something, to try to read the numbers on something that literally at the end of the day, you still will not know until earnings actually is reported. Does Tesla have a good track record in reporting and exceeding expectation? Yes, 100%. But that still does not mean that it has to push up. But at the end of the day, it is your job to simply put your money in areas in which you see value in. So regardless if it goes up or if it goes down within the day or within the next couple of days, then guess what? As long as your focus is big picture, then it shouldn't really matter that much. Focus on investing your time and your attention in stocks that you see long-term value in, because you can see that time over time, these earnings play such a small role in the overall big picture. And that's the point that I'm trying to make, is so many people are stressing out. And all I have to share with you is, if you're a trader and you're stressing out because Tesla reports earnings on Monday and you just don't know what to do, it just means that you're probably invested or trading with way too much money if you're that much of an emotional mess. I would take into consideration the upside. I would take into consideration the downside. And because you're a trader and not an investor, if you don't want to partake in that fluctuation, then I would just get out of it, right? You can always get back in, just like you can always sell your position as of right now before this report happens. All I want you guys to ever do is to put yourself in a position to succeed. So if you're an investor like myself in Tesla, I'm not too worried about it, because you are correct. They could report a negative earnings and it can quickly pull on back, but big picture earnings play such a small role, at least in Tesla, and its long-term performance. And that's the point that I'm trying to make. To take so much time to try to predict something that at the end of the day, no one actually knows what it's going to be until it's actually reported is kind of counterproductive. So I'm super excited to follow up with it on Monday. Earnings is reported after market hours. So it's not when the market opens, but it's leading into market close on Monday. Earnings report will come out for Tesla, and we will either see a positive or negative catalyst. This tends to not last for a very long period of time. So if it becomes very overbought based off of previous track records, then hey, maybe taking a short position is something that I might look into. But if it pulls back a lot, then guess what? Maybe investing a little bit more money into it might make sense, because like we've seen before, it quickly recovers. So I'm super excited to follow up, and it's because I'm invested with a dollar amount in which I can manage, and not so much that I become an emotional mess. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter that much to take so much time to try to predict something that at the end of the day, no one actually knows on how it's going to play out. I wanted to show you guys the numbers based off how it tends to do, but I also wanted to show you guys that big picture for overall Tesla's performance. It doesn't actually play that big of a role in its big picture performance. So I hope that it earned your thumbs up. I hope that this can kind of lift some weight off your shoulders, and I'm really looking forward to Monday at market open. I wish you guys nothing but a blessed rest of your weekend, and I hope that it earned your thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and if you want to stay connected, you guys can join our free Facebook group, and that's that first link down below. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.